some big news coming in, some big news on the West Bengal government we hear, who've deployed a whole battery of lawyers to take up their case with the Supreme Court. That's the big development coming in from the side of the West Bengal government as they filed a status report on all the questions that were asked by the Supreme Court of the West Bengal government's failure and ensuring that they could have controlled the RG Kar hospital, questions on the vandalism that took place on the eve of Independence Day. The West Bengal government filed an interim report, a status report before the Supreme Court, and that said, they've also deployed a battery of lawyers to back them in court. And that's the latest we have, 21-member team of lawyers who've been deployed by the West Bengal government to take up for their case. Remember, there were more than 10 questions that the Supreme Court had pointedly asked about why no intelligence, that they had no intelligence to ensure that those vandals were kept at bay, that they secured the RG Kar premises. Had they had proper intelligence reports? What was the failure? Where was the failure? This was a question asked of the West Bengal government and the Kolkata police, apart from, of course, multiple other questions of why FIR was filed late in the case, why was a suicide theory floated, why were the parents made to wait and not meet or not even see the body of that trainee doctor for hours together. Lots of questions about the failure in the initial process of the investigation and the vandalism that took place. The West Bengal government had a lot to firefight. And we see here that a 21-member panel have been set up by the West Bengal government now to take up their case in court. Well, we have Shrishti Ojha, who's with us. She's in fact tracking those developments in court. Shrishti, if you're with me. All right, we're going to try and patch her on the line. But for now, we know that the West Bengal government has a lot to firefight and they've deployed 21 lawyers to fight their case. Kanu Sharda is joining us on the phone line. Kanu, a big development there. West Bengal government pulling in 21 lawyers to take up their case. It appears that they have been rattled with the questions, and they should, ideally, with the questions being asked by the Supreme Court. And now, on the day that they've actually presented a report before the top court on the questions that were asked of their failure in this case, they've deployed 21 lawyers. Give us more on that angle. What are these lawyers going to do for them? How is this case going to go forward?
Well, Nabila, yes, the West Bengal government has, roped in 21 lawyers. The number could increase also because mainly Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal, who is also the Supreme Court Bar Association President, will be representing the West Bengal government before the Supreme Court. But what we know is that, the status report on the West Bengal rape and murder case has been filed before the top court. And, the tough questions asked by the Supreme Court over with the fact that how the vandalism in the hospital has taken place, this needs to be addressed by the West Bengal government to the top court. So they have to show as to how 7,000 people, managed the mob and the investigating site was, damaged like this. So very tough questions were asked by the Supreme Court on last year. So all questions need to be asked, and Kapil Sibal will have to be on the front foot to answer all these queries. That is why, the battery of lawyers have been engaged by the West Bengal before today's crucial hearing, which is scheduled to take place at 10:30 today.
Right. All right. Kanu, thanks very much for joining us on that.